Hi everyone, my name is Kushar and welcome to our second release for our capstone project, Winter 2019 Centennial College. This is the second release for iteration 3 and 4. Previously, we made the release for one of the main user, which was driver, but this release would be specifically based on our other two users, which will be the host and an admin. Uh, and I'm going to lead this workshop, and I'm the only one over here right now. So without further ado, let's jump on the workshop. So on my right side, I have my app, and on my left side, we have our release criteria with the acceptance test that we taught. Okay. So for the first story, it says that as a host, I want to add a parking location so that can be uploaded to the system. Uh, so in the event of adding a new parking location, our host has to be registered into the system. And for that, let me create a new user from the scratch. And let me see as myself as a host. So this is the email that I prefer to choose. And there you go. Now we have our host. So if a host wants to add a new parking spot, uh, the criteria for the test is that they need to enter all of it, and if they try to submit the data into the database with a blank page, the system should raise a flag. So let me create. Into the password, enter the address and price. So the price would be 10, time would be 45. Host type would be public, and then occupancy I should say 98, occupied 57, coast industry. Okay, now I'm trying to submit this data, and we can see this data has been entered successfully. However, if I try to enter with only few spots, so let's say I'm trying to enter the fields without the price, time, host type. Since our app needs to know how much is the price and time, and mainly it shouldn't add any of this data into the database. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it actually adds this data into the database, which is kind of surprising. It shouldn't be doing this because a media method. Okay, so we saw that it actually adds the data. even with the blank field. So this test overall actually failed, while the first test actually passed, but the second test actually failed. So on the overall, we this test we consider this test as failed. So next story we have is, as a host, I want to view my parking so that system can be able to generate a list of parking. I guess you already saw the list which I actually added, but for the sake of simplicity and uh, comprehensiveness, let me add a parking spot. Let me no, wait. So so if there's no data previously, then the system actually shows the message, which I'm sure you actually saw that. Uh, and if we have the data that's actually been added previously, the system should show the list of those of all the parking that belongs to that particular host. Let me add this. So we have this parking spot, and it actually shows the dashboard actually has the list of all the parkings. Yeah, which in our case is only one. So I would say this story is called pass. So next we have is, as a host, I want to edit or update the parking data so that I can change the values. So in our case, if a host changes their mind, they want to alter the price on time, they can, and what they only need to do is hit the parking name, and they actually see this portal, and then if they want to edit the values, they need to hit the data, and then if I say 10, then it should change the values. So it says data updated, and now if I say, oh, we have a new price which shows that the price is $10, time is 30, and the host time and the occupancy is actually the same. So the first test actually got passed. The second test is somewhat we can do it right now, but it's important to consider, because in some of the situations uh, we have a fiber's connection which actually is not working due to the lack of backend support in the Firebase. Uh, so it can happen. So we have the method which actually shows that if the system couldn't able to process the request, then it will generate a database error, which we can show you over here. But it's important to consider right now. And if we have a valid database connection, the system, as we saw, that it actually raised a toast message which says that the data has been updated. So this one story called pass. And then similar to this, if a host wants to delete a parking spot from the uploaded data, and they can, and what they only need to do is hit this delete button, and the system will delete that parking spot from the database. And I will show you the whole data in the database. So if we have a clean street, see, this is 123, and This is it, 12 Queens Street. The host email is Masar, and the price we changed after making the edits. This is the new price. Sorry. So if I delete this parking spot again, I have a message that there's no such parkings you have right now in your database. Uh, why don't you go ahead and create them? And if I check in the database right now, I shouldn't be able to see any parking spot with a 12 Queen Street as a name. So there's nothing like that. Okay, so this story passed the criteria, so I will change the font color to green, and then we have one story which says, as a host, I want to access my dashboard so that I can manage my data. So this is very interesting. So so in our case, if we have the users but none of the users are actually hosts, then in a main user criteria, uh, where it actually shows this account button, we won't be having that account button if there's not any host. And now we have a bunch of parking spots over here based on the data we added. So to test this, I would delete all the hosts, and then we'll try to see what happens. So I will delete this, and let me see. Also, this is also the host, and this is also the host. And then all we only have is the driver. So let me launch this app again so that it can actually. So So now, since we don't have any users with their role as a host, then we are not going to see any host account button. And this story can be changed based on the current user we have it logged into the app. They can see whether uh, they are able to access the host dashboard or not. So next we jump to our admin user, and admin has a bunch of roles to play in our app. And first of all, the story for admin is, as an admin, I want to log into the system so that I can manage the project. So in the case of admin, we won't be having a registration activity for him, since uh, we are going to provide him the credentials. So in our database, so in our database we have a email and a password for him. So the email would be admin@parkgo.com, and the password will be provided. Okay. Mm, so I've entered the credentials, and boom. So the system actually allows the admin to log into the screen. So if I try to enter some different credentials, shouldn't be able to see that dashboard. So it says login failed. Couldn't. Let's try again later. So if I have a driver credentials, would I be able to log into the system or with to see the same dashboard? So I couldn't. So next, if we have an admin, he or she wants to view the user's info, so they can update their profile on request or without request. So first I have to log into the system, and then so in our dashboard uh, we initially decided to have a user parking and payments, but since we decided not to carry forward with the idea of having payments right now in our app, we're only going to have users and parkings right now. So if a admin wants to see the users, then they want to hit the parking. And right now we only have one user, so let's say the username is green pre. Apologies for that. The username is green p and the role is driver. I would say this. So this story actually passes criteria. And next we have, as an admin, I want to edit the user info so that I can change their card in the database. So if I have this particular user, I will hit the user profile, and then based based on the inputs, I want to change the data. So the one thing I need to mention is an admin can't change the email address. However, he or she can delete the user, but he can change the email, which is actually understandable because if they actually change the email, then the user won't be able to access it. If somehow a user wants to change the email, the admin can delete this particular user object and create another one. And so the first test criteria is test by changing the user role. So if I made this user a host, and then we see what actually happens. So now we have the user and the role changed to host, and we've been given a confirmation that this database data has been updated into the database. And if you check in the database, so now since we only have one user object over right now, we have ID name and the password is same. However, the role has been changed into host. Let me see. Everything is cool. Then and now we are going to log in into the database with the sorry we are going to log in into the system with these particular credentials, and let's see if this user will be going to have that host database dashboard button, and whether or not they can actually go to the host dashboard and access the operations involved in the host dashboard. So let me see the credentials. my I'm able to log into the system, and based on the role, we have this button and we have the dashboard. And if I want to do the host operations, I can do it. I can add it. Then once it's added, I can actually change it. Next, we have, as an admin, I want to view all the parking so that I can update the parking. So now we jump into the second part of the admin operations. So next to the user icon, we have the parking icon. And over here, we have all the parkings in our database. And in total, we have 5 parkings. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have all the parkings over here. And if an admin wants to know additional information, they can actually say. And if somehow they want to change the information, they can do so by just hitting the edit button, and then try to submit it. The one thing I need to tell is they can change the parking name, which is understandable. Pardon me, because it's only the host who's allowed to change the parking name or enter or delete it. So if I say 15, and time is actually increased to 45. And if I want to delete this parking spot, do so by hitting delete. So seems like this button is not working. So maybe they are in the connection, or maybe we are not handling the proper event. So even if it is not having the proper Firebase connection, it should raise a message that we are getting some technical difficulties in handling your operation. So the story actually got failed. And if I check in the database, yeah, so it's the first one. So it's actually still in the database. So we couldn't able to process this request. Next, we have the driver functionality. Pardon me. So first I have to register the database. All this for that. Maybe I'm having some technical. Let's just change the values over here. Okay, I'm able to log in again. And now if a driver wants to hold this parking spot, so they just want to hit the hold button, and it's going to uh, reserve the spot. But the main debatable point over here right now is if we are able to make the payment method successfully, then what we think right now is uh, based on the time. So we are going to set a time limit, let's say half an hour. If a user doesn't show up and is still going to hold their parking spot, and they can actually request for additional 15 minutes, but that 15 minutes would going to be chargeable uh, based on every minute. And the charges is actually going to link to the payment. So these are the payments and the whole are actually interrelated to each other. So right now we only have this skeleton version of holding a parking spot. Another thing is when a user wants to hold a parking spot based on our vision of using the parking map or beacons for detecting the parking location, uh, we, this functionality would again be taken forward into the next couple of releases, so that it actually integrated completely with the system, rather than just saying that your parking actually got holding without even checking the number of spots we have in a database. So right now we just have the skeleton version of it. So in if it's if we say or compare with the criteria that we have over here, this story actually got failed. So I would say as failed. But the point of having this app is reducing time limit of booking a ticket, booking a parking, and then also checking the real-time location. So rather than just making payments and viewing the locations and everything, we try to be more uh, productive in our approach, and this app is going to have more lists, and maybe we are going to shift the whole platform on iOS and Windows devices. So a lot of things are going to come, and it's an exciting project, and based on the resources and the emerging ideas, if we're going to get, we're going to make this app more productive and uh, more approachable to the users in a future basis. So thanks everyone for watching this video. I hope you like it, and please do share or comment if you have any suggestions. I'm looking forward to. If you have any ideas to change something, or if you have any ideas to remove or add something or something different or innovative steps, do comment in this on the database or into the comment section. Uh, right now I'm really tired, so I had a lot of words going into my work. But thanks everyone. I really enjoyed working on this project, and looking forward to keep on working on this for the next release also. Thanks everyone.